It feels like one big family because every time I step into the daycare, it's a very lively atmosphere. Then you see the patients and the staff, the nurses, the therapists all laughing, joking with each other. So I'm Phoebe. I'm 20 years old this year and I've been volunteering at Assisi Hospice, specifically at its daycare, since the end of 2020. Assisi is for terminally ill patients, so they have a few aspects to it. There's the daycare, there's the inpatient care, as well as the home care. So the one that I'm based in is mostly the daycare, which is for patients who have a prognosis of about a year. So over there, I help out mainly with the van escort, which is bringing the patients from their homes to the hospice or from the hospice back home. 早安，这是阿西机车，我们快要到了，给我们10分钟。OK， 谢谢你，拜拜。早安 ，Hello， 早安。早安，要吗？进来。哇，昂哥今天好帅啊！哇，来，
要上镜啊，看美美吗？
哎呀，
来给我。
哎呀，谢谢你们，谢谢你们。
没问题。来，我拿。
嗯。
小心。等一下，这个你要坐在这个上面吗？等一下。啊，你拿去。I just ensure their safety on the van by simple things like putting on the seatbelts for them, taking the temperature to make sure they are well before coming to the center, and just helping them with their medical devices like oxygen. 鞋子穿好了，对吗？
对。
来，等一下。
看你等比较。
放在后面。OK 吗？OK， 37.2。拜拜。Yeah, ensuring a smooth ride for the patients. It is quite challenging now because now I've started uni, and uni's the timetable is quite packed sometimes and it's very unpredictable. At the start, when I was in secondary school, I had more time, so I came down about once a week at least. I tried to. But then I realized that instead of finding time to come down to volunteer, I have to make time for it. So I'm more intentional with setting aside a certain amount of time, like per month, maybe a few times, like maybe 2 times a month, to come down to the hospice to volunteer. And I think that's helped me build a more regular schedule. My interest in palliative care actually started when my Gong was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer in 2017. So there was discussion on maybe the possibility of hospice care, which piqued my curiosity in palliative care in Singapore. So this led me to volunteer with, and eventually I took over this student-initiated volunteer project in my school at that time. We did ad hoc activities at a daycare. At the end of 2020, I decided that I wanted to be more proactive in terms of volunteering. So I found out about Assisi Hospice, the daycare center, and I decided to volunteer there. I think because volunteering at this type of high person-to-person interaction type of setting, it's very hard for one person to make an impact on like a huge group of people, because it's not like I am starting a charity where I get the money and donate to a large group of people, and I'm limited with my time and my capacity lah. But I do realize that even the smallest of impacts that I make on just that one patient is enough. 早安，早安。哇，看起来好吃啊。And I can tell that I do have some sort of impact on the patients given the type of interactions that we have, the gratitude that they show me, which I'm also very grateful for, and I'm very privileged to receive. And I think that's more than enough to justify the time and the effort that I make in coming down. Hi, Auntie Sylvia.
Hi, Phoebe.
They are filming.
I know
It's
they
really
are.
scary.
No, not scary.
Not
Don't
scary.
worry. Just.
Okay.
Yes.
How's your food? We took out the mushrooms.
I don't like the mushroom.
Interacting with the patients actually brings me so much joy, and I leave with my heart so much fuller. It puts my problems into perspective as well. Like, yeah, just talking to the patients really rejuvenates me. So I don't think of it as a chore. Yeah, rather a privilege. I'm just lucky to be able to do this.
She said, you are the one who told us to be nice to.
So how I met Mrs. Pereira is one day I came to the daycare hospice. I saw that she had like crafts open for jewelry making, and I'm quite interested in like crafts of this sort. So I went to have a conversation with her. She's a very cool lady. She's actually taught me to do paper quilling. At the point of time where I met Mrs. Pereira, I also got to know her husband, Mr. Pereira. So it was really sweet. Both of them were in the hospice daycare together, and you can see the interaction and see the love and respect they have for each other. So I think I got to know both of them better. Mr. Pereira is a very cheerful guy. He charmed us all with his singing. Yeah, it was really a joy to be around them. And at a point of time, I think I came almost every week. So I managed to form that bond over time as well. Unfortunately, Mr. Pereira, his health worsened. It was quite a difficult period for Mrs. Pereira. So knowing that, I did try my best to be there to support her. So I did make a few visits to the hospital to visit Mr. Pereira, and then I just kept in contact, making sure that she was okay. And I think that meant a lot to her, which also made me realize that something that we might perceive as being small or might not make much of an impact actually makes so much of a difference to the patient. I think I am in a very privileged position to be able to volunteer with a hospice, and I've met really a lot of amazing patients who have taught me so much about life and death, and about loving, and I also learned a lot about myself. So I volunteered at this hospice for quite a while, and I think, as part of a hospice, death is something that's inevitable, and I've seen my fair share of patients that have passed on, but it never really gets easier. It still hits me hard when I hear that a patient has left, no matter how short or long I've known the patient. Because this is a hospice after all, the patients have come in with certain illnesses. There are difficult times that they have to go through, and I'm very lucky to be able to be there for them as a listening ear. No matter how small the impact I'm making, it really makes coming down, taking time and effort to volunteer so much more worth it.